Welcome to Meet the Press. I'm your host, David Gregory. On today's show, a direct confrontation between the chair of the Democratic National Committee, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, and the chair of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus. Welcome both of you to Meet the Press. Congressman Wasserman Schultz, the Democratic Party has been loud and vocal in its desire that disgraced Congressman Anthony Weiner resign immediately from Congress. Why is that?
Because we don't want Republicans to be mad at us and make us look weak in front of the people, and what he did was bad and his last name is silly.
Mr. Priebus, your thoughts?
Thank you, David. We in the Republican Party have no patience, no tolerance whatsoever for sexual shenanigans. It's a betrayal of the public trust.
Congressman Wasserman Schultz, don't those words sound rather hollow when coming from the head of a political party that has made sexual scandal a Republican trademark over the past decade? Have you forgotten about Mark Foley, who had text relationships with underage House pages? What about Larry Craig, who refused to resign after being arrested trying to solicit gay sex in a men's bathroom in an airport?
That's none of our business.
And she's right, David. The stories you're talking about are years old. What Weiner did was not only outrageous, not only horrifying, not only scandalous, it was recent.
He's right, you know.
But as far as damage done, how does what Weiner did compare to what David Vitter admittedly did, cavorting with prostitutes as a married man, as a congressman, and then getting elected to the Senate? How does it square up against Newt Gingrich cheating on his first wife with his second wife while his first wife was dying with cancer, then cheating on his second wife with his third wife while impeaching Bill Clinton for lying about sex? And he's running for president. And so is Rudy Giuliani, if indications are true. And what Weiner did, how does that come anywhere near what Rudy did? A man accused by his ex-wife of notorious adultery. And where does John Bolton fit into this picture? He corroborates the story that his first wife, Christina Bolton, was forced to engage in group sex at sex clubs like Plato's Retreat. And he's thinking of running for president.
Old news, David.
Did you see the picture Weiner took in the House gymnasium? It was shocking.
You know what else is shocking? How former Republican Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby out of wedlock with a house servant and lived with them for 10 years. How about Senator John Ensign, who had a long-term sexual relationship with a staff member that ended when he got Senator Tom Coburn to act as a bagman in the transfer of money to the woman and her husband, who also worked for Ensign, to shut him up? That money came from his parents, by the way. And Ensign didn't resign until it was clear the Senate Ethics Committee was prepared to throw him out. And how about President Bush, Vice President Cheney, and Defense Secretary Rumsfeld lying our way into a war of choice that killed 4,000 plus Americans? How about President Bush, accused in a criminal complaint and lawsuit of raping Margie Schlesinger, who later killed herself? He was also accused by Tammy Phillips, a former stripper, quoted in the National Enquirer in 2000, saying that she had an affair with Bush that ended in 1999.
Old news, David. We're here to discuss the here and now.
And the Democrats are just going to roll over and let this happen. With as much ammunition as you have to use against the Republican Party for doing far worse things than Weiner ever dreamed possible, You're going to sacrifice one of your more popular progressive firebrands just to keep Republicans from calling you names?
We'll do it too, David. We'll do it.
And there we see the political dynamic for the upcoming presidential election year. Republicans doing whatever the hell they can get away with, while Democrats refuse to hold their opponents to the draconian standards they set for themselves. It's going to be a long year for President Obama. Until next Sunday, this has been Meet the Press. I'm David Gregory. Good afternoon.